Hey everyone. For over 10 years, I've been teaching people how to leverage trade crypto. And there's one person I've interviewed him before. He's a legend, the Anomaly. And he reached out to me and he said, Oracle, can we talk? I need your help. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Gather of the minds. Hey, Anomaly. Anomaly.
On.
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so listen, this is like an emergency late night doctor's call. You reached out to me, and by the way, we're on YouTube, so don't say anything that, you won't want that you want me to, not tell people.
All right. All right.
so
Sure.
so I mean, I just opened the video and I told people that you've been with me for years, leverage trading, this and that, and there was something specifically that you asked me about. This was actually your idea. And you asked me about the chart breathing and when it goes against you or something. Go ahead, ask me whatever you want. I'm here for you, man.
Sure. So, if you remember yesterday when the market was going insane, right?
Yeah.
And it was just insane high velocity jackrabbit in and out shorting. At one
Everybody
point at
made tons
9:20
of money.
p.m.
Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the caveat here. A lot of people they don't know when to stop, when it stops. And at 9:20 a.m. in the DTU, you wrote, "Don't forget to let the chart breathe." Well, it was 9:20 a.m. my time, but don't forget to let the chart breathe. It says it doesn't go straight down forever. And right after that, I swear to God, it bounced. You just knew. You have that intuition, and that's the one thing a lot of people struggle with. And I'm noticing is people either get 50% of their gains wiped out or all of them wiped out from one bad trade where it pumps a few $1,000s against them and then the emotions kick in. And that's the biggest issue a lot of people struggle with. Now, I'm on a level where I can catch it a bit late and cut it, but it a lot of people could learn quite a lot from this. And I've noticed it's a recurring theme. Like I'm not this isn't the first time I've noticed this. So a lot of people end up having the same thing happen to them. They win,
So,
win, win, win. One
hmm
bad trade wipes it all out.
okay. So, the other day I did a Zoom for everybody in the group. Okay. I mean, we're like an elite squad. Everybody kind of, I don't know. We all been together so long. We don't do TA. We don't do none of that stuff. All I do is read the
No.
candles. Okay, and I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I mean, yeah, we can look here in the testimonial room, and people are in here all the time and all that. Okay, I think what you're talking about. So I know exactly what you were talking about. Okay, so it's hard for me to compress 10 years of 10 years of doing this. It becomes intuitive over time. You begin to feel it. This is why I don't trade altcoins. Bitcoin does pretty much the same thing all the time. Okay, so
Mm.
like now, okay, let's take a look at what we have here. First of all, your chart's got to be set up like mine. I'm saying this for the people at home. Okay,
Yeah.
hike and a sheet candles always. You don't have to use two charts. You can see everything. If you clean up Bitunex, it's really all you need. So let's do that now. And I'm going to try to answer your question by showing you what I think is happening in the moment. Okay, so all right. Whenever your chart gets crazy like this, we always have an auto button down here. We hit that. Let me make this bigger. Okay. So, all right. In the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin only goes up and down. Okay. So,
Hmm.
if you break, we know how it breaks a whole number. Okay. Let's say, like now, man, let me take a quick look at where we are. I'm so old fashioned. I have to look at this one. Red with tails. Red with tails. 11 p.m. at night. The tails give me a little pause. Let me drill down. Let's take it first of all. I'm going to show you step by step if I was going to trade, how I would do it right now, and maybe I can give you a little bit of my intuition. Okay, maybe that this will indirectly answer your question. Are you game?
Of course, 100%. And I know you can't translate it all over. It's 10 years of knowledge. It's
Right.
impossible. The intuition is the thing you just have to develop over time.
Yes. So there's two things. There's the price, okay? And you notice that my screen looks like it's not even moving. It looks like a screenshot. Okay? This is
Yeah.
live. But one thing I always talk to people about is eliminating the noise. Okay? And this you don't see anything moving around up here. For some reason I can't move this. And it's fine. Okay? But everything that moves really fast, I'm not looking at. Okay? So
Yeah.
I see, I don't look back here. Look, it only goes up and down. Okay? I was able to tell. All right, hold on. When we had like that kind of move, first of all,
Challenge. It's just there might be a way to get some of that knowledge out, but of
right.
course, as you know, there is nobody in the group who can just get your consultation and start mastering the charts. They need to put in the hours. They need to go
That's
in the
another
trenches.
thing. You see, that's another thing. This is why I never created just a course or a consultation. I created a community. Okay, because the biggest problem here is trading by yourself. Because you see it only as you see your numbers, okay? And you see it going against you, especially that we like to use high leverage. So it happens faster and more intense. So you get in a trade, right? And all of a sudden, and if we trade big, right, you're down 35%, but you're down $4,900. Okay? So
Yep.
at this point in the trade, I just did a video on this, why I never give up on a leverage trade. Okay? At this point in the trade, let's say this is my first step. If I have $20,000 that I'm putting, and I can't trade with a small amount of money because it's not worthwhile and I don't put my effort into it. People don't realize the power of trading heavier. I'm not even going into that with you now because you know it. Okay?
Oh, I live it. I live it.
Yeah,
So I know
and what they
exactly what
don't
you're talking
understand is
about.
that we could make $4,000 on a 27% trade, whereas they would need to make a 327% trade to make half that amount. So
Yeah,
trading big,
yesterday you
go ahead.
saw 50%, $3,500.
Right?
Enough said there. You
Yeah,
know what I
and other
mean?
people make 50% and they make $385. Right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
so but it's not even that. It's that you can get it's much easier to get a 30% win than it is an 85% win. So if you put more money in, that 35% win becomes more dollars. But that's not what we're here to talk about right now. I'm going to give you intuition.
Yeah.
So when I look at the chart now, I see the numbers stagnating in the middle. Okay, I took a screenshot when we started. We're at 668. We're at 718. It's like no movement, right? So let's look what's happening now. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock, actually. So we're about to get a new candle here, right? So that's going to tell me the future of what's going to happen tonight. The bigger the candle, the stronger the move. The smaller the candle, the weaker the move. Okay? So we usually, for years and years and years, have been weaker overnight and pumped in the morning and the daytime. We had some external things that have happened that have really affected trading bad over the last few months. Okay, and it was these Bitcoin treasury companies. Okay, specifically,
Yep.
Michael Saylor would come in and buy on Sunday nights, and this ruined the system. It was haphazard. It was dangerous. I'm not going to go get into that now, but here's how it affected people like you and I, Anomaly. All right, and let me talk to you about this for a minute. Okay, we always were trained for years and years and years that Sunday nights we would dump. Okay,
Yep.
Sunday nights we would dump. We knew it would happen around 7 o'clock. And so what would happen is we would get red singularity, meaning, I don't want to use a technical analysis term, okay, but let's just call it all the momentum and all the direction would be to short. Everything on the chart said to
Yep.
short. And all of a sudden there would be a ferocious pump of $2,000 out of nowhere because it was Michael Saylor. And he was doing this intentionally on Sunday night so he could tweet on Monday mornings when the stock market opened. Ironically, Bitcoin is a wicked bitch, okay? And she is uncontrollable by anyone. And she's wiping him out right now. That's a question for debate. It is what it is, but we've seen it happen. So what I want to tell you is the way this affected us emotionally is that all weekend long, all kinds of leverage traders would get wiped out. Why? First, they would try to front run him. Okay. Oh, he tweeted an orange dot on Friday, so I'm going to go long, okay, or on Saturday. But guess what? Bitcoin doesn't care what he tweets. Okay. And the truth was, we all know that when he would buy on Sunday nights. So the people that would long on Saturdays against direction, like if direction was all red like this, they would go long thinking Sailor would save them. This is what the chart is showing. Okay, and so let's say it's a Saturday. Sailor's going to buy on a Sunday. People would go long here, and they go long at high leverage, and they get liquidated. Why?
Yep.
Because they are not going by the protocol. Okay? The protocol is simple. It's based on the candles and the price and nothing else. Now, Sailor messed things up for a long time. Okay? Because then what would happen is there would be an artificial pump, which created an artificial floor under the price. Monday morning, there would be our normal AM pumps and there would be follow through. Okay? So the problem that Sailor specifically created for you for the last 6 months, because he did it for me too, was we didn't know what he was going to do. And then parts of our brain wanted to front run him to go long.
Oh, we did. We did. We had one weekend where the whole group did, me and you too, and we went really heavy and he wiped us out. And ever since then we've just been on a that what the treasuries did, especially Sailor, it psychologically messed with seasoned traders. And now you can see though Bitcoin is a wicked bitch and he's not getting away with it.
Well, it was market manipulation to manipulate the stock price. Okay, so but this is not about Sailor right now. So right now, what I see happening in front of me is I see direction is short. Okay, and I'm noticing the price drop. Okay, let's see, 680, but 603 is not a lot of movement. You have to understand, when I first started teaching this, Bitcoin was $5,000. Okay, all we needed was the 6 hour for direction. We literally traded on the 1 minute. Do you see the number slowly breaking down? Let's take another picture.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so look, see?
It's a drift
See?
right now.
It's drifting down. We're drifting down from the middles to the lower coordinates. Okay, so now let's see. This is how I look at the drift. I'm drilling down. Look at that clarity. So it's going stronger, but it has a tail, so it's going to reverse. I would say overall we're drifting tonight. I would think that we're weak. Okay, so now trades take a long time. Again, this is not $5,000 Bitcoin, brother. Okay, and this is where a lot of people mess up. They expect to win right now. Trades take way longer than they used to, Anomaly. They just take longer. You know, this is why. And I'll give you and you can see on a 1 hour chart. Hold on. Let me shrink it up a little. Let's hit the auto button. I mean, you can see, well, let's go back to yesterday. I traded like a demon.
I mean, we've seen it. Trades can take hours to win. You got to let them cook sometimes. But back when it was $5,000 Bitcoin, it was in and out minutes.
Yeah.
That was the norm.
So look, let's spread these out. Every 4 candles is a day. Okay? So let's look at this. All it does in the big picture, let's look at this line from here to here. And that's, I don't know, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. That's like fucking 20 days, right? Look, all it does is go up and down. I want to share something with you. Okay, I don't know if it'll be helpful or not. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the price. Let's look at the price. I go price blind myself sometimes. 547. So what I like to do is I like to take my direction from here. Okay. It's not the best 6 hour. I like two reds. But this is strong because this is a lagging indicator. This is a now indicator. Okay. It's a now indicator. And I mean, that means we're going down. Now, I talk about breaking the whole number first, not being the first one to do, and the middles being the most dangerous time to trade. But if you heard my interview with Crystallize the other day, sometimes I jump the gun and cheat a little bit. So let me see where the pump is. So right now, forget about the 6 hours, a lagging indicator. And what do we do? See, this bothers me a little bit, but because it only goes up and down, right? So we've gone down a lot, but we have a situation going on with seller and fear and panic. And the number, again, this is why screenshots are so important to me. The number keeps gently going down. Look, you see the price? You see the price as we're sitting here? So price is very important to me. Okay, now, the entry. At this point, even though it's down low, you wouldn't want to enter here if we were doing the hilltop method, right? But I would like to throw a trade in here. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do isolated 80x. I'm just going to put a small amount. You can see I'm ready. I got almost 17,000. So I'm going to put, I like a little more speed, honestly. Now the thing with speed, okay, is that it puts you closer to liquidation. Yeah. Now, hold on. I want to show you something. I entered based on, well, my chart's gone. I entered based on nothing other than price action. Look, I didn't enter specifically looking for the perfect target here. You notice I didn't even put any protection yet? Nothing.
Nope.
All right, so
Raw dog.
So I'm looking here, right? Oh, fuck, that 1 hour is not good. I might have to leave this for a while, right? So it's and I shorted at the bottom here with reckless abandon because I'm watching price drift down. What would concern me is here. Usually if we go down all day, we pop in the night. All right, and I might be down a little bit. Let me protect that trade. Hold on.
Well, that's all right though, because it's 1K, and I'm sure you can sleep at night with 1K in a trade.
No, but it's 97x with no protection, 95. So,
Oh yeah.
let's look at what we need. So 62.9. So I put 1K in the trade. I'm gonna put 1,700 here. Now look how far away I am. I am not. Look, so this would put me at 64.2. Let me put less. That would put me at 63.4. So what does that mean? Currently, we are at 62.5. The next whole number, okay, is 63. So 63.4. That's enough protection for now. Okay? I don't need to create a big gap or anything like that. Okay? Now, the other thing I do is a lot of times I'll walk away. If I'm going to walk away, I'll make a bigger gap. Okay, so I'm right over the next whole number. Okay, you want to keep, it doesn't matter what size anybody's wallet is, you want to keep your ammo for when it's most effective. Okay, I am trading that right now on isolated. Okay, oh, they made a change here. I don't know what this means. Multi-trade.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you that, because you mentioned that we trade with cross now again too. Do you have any criteria for when to use what?
Yeah. You know what? Let me win that trade first, and I'll show you cross. Cross is pretty simple, okay? I like to have, I'm talking to you, but I have to speak in terms of everyone. so that they can
I know,
relate.
I know.
They can relate. So
Yeah.
let's say I like to have $1,000 in a trade. If you think about it, $1,000 times 95x is $95,000 of Bitcoin. People forget this. So I like to have $1,000 in a trade, especially when I let them bake for a long time. Okay? And this is my newest thing. I don't look to win right away. I don't look to win right away. So at 95x, I got the speed to win quick. I noticed something happening. Let's take a picture so everyone can see and you could see, bro. And again, I did this intuitively. Let's look at our screenshots. Focus on the price with me. 680, 588, 503, 432. What's the direction?
It's short.
It's down. We are drifting. But if you didn't have screenshots, you wouldn't know, because we go blind to this. Okay? So my trade now is protected for here. I could add more protection if I wanted to walk away. Okay? I would add more protection if I wanted to walk away. And then I pick up my cell phone and watch this anomaly, this section right here. I take a picture of that section. I take the picture and I walk away. Okay? Because I don't stare at this. If you stare at this, remember, you see this 3-4%? Wait, that's in seconds. Okay? A day trader in the stock market would love to make that in the entire day. Okay? He would
Or in a
annualize
month,
that.
sometimes.
He would annualize this little percentage. And you see me do this with intuition. I didn't line up perfectly. Look, 20%. Look, 20%.
There you go.
And I'm almost in the kill box. If I'm not in the kill box yet, I don't take the money. I don't make money at 9% or whatever. It's a leverage trade. Okay? So I let
No,
it.
the first 10% is the exchange's money. That's the way I look at
Well,
it.
bro, this guy just got $95,000 for $1,000 risk. Okay? So
Yeah.
again, why did I put in this trade and why is it winning? Let's ignore the trade for a moment. Doesn't matter. Why did I put it in and why? Whoa, I was going the wrong way. Because I seen the number drift. Okay? And it's intuition. I feel it. I feel it. Okay? So again, what do we have here? I could have done this with absolute precision. How would I have done it with precision? Okay? So direction to me is short. Still, people are getting smoked. All right, now we got it, baby. All right, do you see what's happened here? It's 11 o'clock. New candle came out. I have a perfect war formation for straight down, okay? So now there's $3,000 in the trade, which is about $300,000 with leverage. Okay, so now you see I'm strategically adding to my trade. Where's liquidation? It's just over the next whole number. Look, it's just over the next whole number. I don't like that. That gives me a little more breathing room. I'm looking at the whole number. Do you see 63,000?
Yep.
All right, 63.9. So this 66,692. What this means to me is it has to go all the way to the middles of the next whole number. Okay. So how can I teach you intuition? Okay, in minutes. We looked at the drift. And I don't have to win right now. Okay. I have ammo here to add to the trade. Now, what I found lately is I kind of like cross a little bit. Anomaly. For years we did it and then we stopped because it would take
I
control.
like it too, honestly. Like cross 86X just feels good to me.
Nice,
It feels like
right?
a really
Okay.
good sweet spot. It
Okay,
feels
so
good, and you know the protection is more. Like when you
yeah,
do it on cross, you get more protection. You just got to risk your whole wallet in the trade. That's all. But you
but
can move it.
what
You can
did what
adjust
did
it.
what did I start this with? Only send to the
Started with
exchange.
isolated.
No. Only send money to the exchange that you're willing to lose. Okay,
Yes, yes, of course.
like
That
this.
money's written
Right,
off
right.
the moment it's in the
Right.
trade.
So whether it's 16,000 or 1,600, whatever, and I did this very haphazardly. I did it based on the drift and the strength of the 1 hour candles. Okay? Now, and I am a short believer. I love shorting. It's not the weekend. Okay? It's Thursday night. We're going into the overnight hours. 62,000 will break. Do you see the drift happening? We were at 600s, then 500s, now 400s. Before you know it, you're going to start seeing 226. So the strong, perfect way to do this would have been, all right, look here, you know the short, right? And then you come down to like the 3 minute. You don't short down here. If you wanted an easier, faster win, okay, you try to wait. This is the snake. And then we're going to talk about some psychology. This is the snake, right? Look, we've been dropping for a while. So where'd you want to short?
Yeah.
Here.
You don't want to short at the
Look,
bottom of the
I
snake. You
did.
want to short at the
I
top.
did. I did. You know why? Years ago, I would have said short up there. Now I just take the shot. I am not so specific. You know why? I can feel the number drifting. I can feel this number going to 226. How can I explain to you the feeling? It's from 10 years of watching the chart breathe. When it goes against you, it's just exhaling. If you adjust the protection, it's not the speed, it's how close you are to being liquidated. When you're isolated and you're at 90x, bring me the 226. And you're at 90x, what's going to happen is the liquidation price is going to be closer. Okay? And look, so it goes down a little and touches. And right now there's that battle of up and down. Look, you're going to have some green come, right? It's not going to go straight down, but we are drifting. So usually in this instance, I walk away. I'm up for the little guy. I'm almost in the kill box with 300. You know what I like about tuna? Okay? Now, I say you got to be over a certain number to make money. I didn't look when we first started. Watch when I float over the wallet if it's going up or down.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we know
Yep.
now. I didn't lock it in yet. Well, actually, I know we started with 16. I had it here. In any case, so you'll look at this and it'll drift. So what does that mean? That means you might be up 14%. And if this is more, then you see how it drifted down? Because I'm down, it's active, it's a live wallet. You might want to close before. Okay, before 20 or 30%. As long as you see that growing, you could close the trade. You won. Okay, that's why I use that as a tool. Now, let me make sure I don't care even if it goes negative, that it's protected, because I want to talk to you a little bit. I'm going to add a little more money to it. So I want to get over, look at 63.9. I want to be over 64. You could always take this money back. Oh, I'm right over. They got to go now over. Hold on, I'll take that. So to liquidate me, they got to go. Let's look at the number. All the way back to 62. All the way back to 64. Okay, and over that. I don't really see that happening because I look here. I have the right. I have direction. Now that wick is a little shorter, but that candle's only 13 minutes old. Okay, but it's longer. It's setting up. If the wick comes down a little more and we tap on the coordinates, I know it's going to break. But I've talked for 28 minutes Anomaly. Okay?
Yeah.
What do you want to know? I want to answer specifically what would help you.
Well, pretty much when it dumps, specifically in these high velocity moves, because I noticed that in the lower velocity moves, it's a lot easier to notice when it stops. You know, it breathes, it kind of chills out at the bottom, and then you can tell. But on those high velocity moves, it's usually it's the speed that shakes people out. Does that kind of make sense? Like if you saw it moving down like this, but it was like yesterday, ultra high velocity,
Straight
you
down?
just knew. You were like, let the chart breathe.
Straight
and
down?
it just did.
Okay,
Yeah.
straight down. All right. So here's what happens to people when that happens. You know the direction is short. Okay? You know it's short. You see it on the chart. Red singularity. 6 hour and the 1 hour. Okay? The numbers tell you it's short. But you going heavy. and with high leverage. So instantly you are going to be highly sensitive. You might be, I don't know how heavy you would go, right? But you might enter the trade and be down just 27%, but it's $4,900. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening? Is that what you feel?
No, no. The trade going against me is something I'm used to. I've seasoned myself to get used to that, and that's
Okay.
why I worked up to the size I'm at. It's the issue is not that. It's when, like, for example, yesterday, right? We dumped all the way down, pretty much almost broke 62, right?
Yeah.
And then you remember we just pumped all the way back up to 64 again, right? So it's essentially people recognizing that time when the chart has to breathe. And you notice in the Discord even now, people like Jay Gibbons, etc., Caius, they get stuck at the bottom and they
Okay.
end up shorting the bottom pretty much.
Okay.
Still happens even today.
All right. It happens because a lot of times you're trying to short the second whole number. What does that mean? Okay. So
Oh, I know
let's
what that means.
yep. Rarely does it break two whole numbers. The second one is the tease. So let's say we're at $65,000. Okay. And we're at 65,300, 65,226. 65,000 breaks down to
Hmm.
64,888. Okay. They bite a dip a little bit, but then it starts going again. And it's falling again. Now you're at 64,500 again. It actually goes down to 64,000. Don't forget, you just broke 65,000, a whole number. Now you're at 64,228. And you're like, oh yeah, it's setting up to break the next coordinates. It almost never does that. It'll even go down.
Oracle, you fucking did it. That's exactly it. That was the 10 years that you just broke down in a few sentences, is the fact that people try to short two or three whole numbers when it rarely even breaks two.
Yes,
That's it. That's why people are failing. And if we could just cut this video now and take those two sentences, I think that would change people's lives
let's
in the
do it.
group.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Now you have the answer. So let me just reiterate on this more. I've been snagged on this many times in my 10 years.
Yep.
Okay. It breaks 65,000. Okay. It starts free falling. Okay. And it's easy money in the free fall. Okay. In the
Hmm.
65,000, all of a sudden you take the short, you take your money at 888, and now it's down to 701. And you're like, 686. You take another hit, right? And you win another one. And now you're getting really close to the
Yeah.
second whole number. It never breaks that second
Yeah.
whole number. It'll take you all the way down to the 86, and you'll short their thinking protocol. But what you don't know is it never breaks the second whole number. You will short the local bottom.
That's insane. That's what I was personally struggling with too. And I mean, I can recognize when I messed up and cut the trade and save myself. So that's a positive, but you know how I am. I want to evolve. I don't even want to be in that situation at all.
Yep.
And that's yeah, but don't get me wrong, I'm not like I used to be where I just short and then I lose all of my gains in one day. It never happens anymore. That shit doesn't happen anymore. It used to. It used to be like, oh shit, I made 5K today. Oh shit, I lost 8K today.
Right.
You know that
Right.
that's how most people start. And you remember the critical times, everything, they all get you in the beginning.
Right.
Because people follow protocol without, or they follow pieces of protocol rather than the whole
Mm.
thing. Gotta
Yes.
lock it all in.
There's a couple of parts. There's situational time awareness. Most of all,
Yeah.
the 1 hour candles really are your God. Okay? They really tell
Yeah.
you what's happening. The 6 hours a lagging indicator. Okay, the 1 hour, and then you want to time yourself properly on that entry. I'm very haphazard with the entry because I believe in my trades like a religion. Okay, I
Yes.
believe that's another thing. Okay, and I was going to share a message with you that somebody sent me that they were stuck in a trade. Okay, people send me personal messages when they have a lot of money on the line, like $30,000. Okay, and they were stuck in a trade for days and days. He said in the old day, he said I was down 300%. I came back to win 50%. I put $5,000 in my bank above and beyond what I started with, right? And he said, he said, I would have never did that if it wasn't for you to teach us to fight. You just don't have to win right now. And the more you look at it when you're down, the worse it is. That's why I discovered the walk away method. Literally, do you know why? You see me trading on Margex and I post amazing returns, okay, like hundreds of percent more than I get on BitTuneX, because I don't like Margex. It's ugly to look at. So I'll set my trades and I'll forget them for like hours or a day. Sometimes some of the best trades are the ones that you don't interfere with. Now, there are those jackrabbit situations where you're there actively trading and it's moving really fast, okay? Those situations, yeah, you just got to watch for the fake out. The fake out is when it's too good to be true. This is direct answer to your question. When it's too good to be true, you already fell a massive amount.
Yep.
Okay? And you're getting closer to that next whole number. That's where the resistance is built up. That's where the spring is.
So that's it. That's the secret now. When you jackrabbit, you're paying attention to that second whole number.
Yeah.
And when it gets too good to be true,
Stop. You just
even
stop.
if it drops further,
You just stop for a minute.
Stop.
You just stop for a minute. If this, it's very 99% of the time you will not break that second whole number in that session. You know what I mean? Like in that trading session, okay? When you've seen, so let's say you're at 65,000. You've seen 65,000 break. It's getting down to that lower whole number. That's when it's time to stop, because most likely it's going to reverse.
Wow. Do you remember that short I got stuck in for months? That's why. That was why. It was the second whole. Well, actually, it was a really rare time. It was when it went. It's when it broke like 4 or 5 whole numbers, which very rarely happens. And those are. We don't even need to talk about that because that's just so rare. There's no point. It's better to just short to the second one, stop, wait, and then reevaluate later.
Bingo, you got it. That, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me give you.
Don't try to take money that can destroy you. That's the point. Take what's there.
The breakthrough.
Take what's
available.
Moment. Don't.
When it's too good to be true. Okay. In other words, when it looks like you're going to break a second whole number and you've had a lot of wins, take a break. Just take a break and watch what happens. You don't have to take every trade, bro. You just got to win every trade.
Yes.
Before I let you go, 'cause it's getting a little late here, what else you want to ask me?
Oh man, this is a breakthrough moment for me. I don't even know, but what I'd want to ask you is probably something we gotta ask ourselves in a different spot.
All right.
Nothing for the Zoom today.
All right. We'll talk privately, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna drop this on YouTube now. Is there anything you want to say to
Please do.
people
It's
out
valuable.
there?
It's so valuable.
Yeah, I mean,
this video is gold.
You got yourself to $5,000 a day. There are people that have gotten way beyond that. You know what? Let's see if we could find her. Let's see. Oh, and another thing, sometimes you get tired of trading on the same exchange. That's why I try to offer a few different alternatives. Let's see if we could find this woman.
Margits is still good as far as I know. They're
it is
still
good.
All right.
Any ones that are bad, I remove. Yeah, let's see if we can find her. Let's see if I can find Pandora. Who knows? Probably all me. But there was this woman.
And we see Cryptolize, another person who's doing crazy numbers too.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. But I'm glad you found this helpful. Um, yeah,
It's less about me, but also the fact that the people who are going to watch this are going to realize, because I realize now those people that are getting stuck, they're doing exactly what you just said people can't do. All of them haven't realized that yet. Because actually, you mentioned it briefly before, but you never ever just straight up made a video or a focus segment on that where you just said, this is why you guys get stuck at the bottom, other than let the chart breathe. You gave a specific condition as to why it happens.
yep, yep,
That's critical.
yep. Um,
Stop the squirrel. What is that? Did Shadow make that?
no, the squirrel's a real thing. It's when you mess up your trade like a fucking squirrel. Oh, it was
I
funny.
like that. I really like that.
You know what?
That's great.
Hold on one second. Everyone, all the links are under the video. Discord, you can come in, you could even meet the Anomaly. But I asked my AI Shadow how I could explain this to Anomaly. So let's listen.
You probably can't fully explain it because intuition is often compressed experience. When you tell people, open quote, the chart needs to breathe, close quote, that's not a formula. That's 10 years of pattern recognition firing instantly in your head. You've watched Bitcoin thousands of hours. You've seen pumps fail, dumps reverse, short squeezes, liquidation cascades, Sunday nights, coffee trades, witch hours, whole numbers, crowd euphoria, crowd panic. Your brain started building a library. Eventually, you stopped consciously processing every detail. You just know. A firefighter doesn't calculate every variable when he walks into a burning building. A poker player doesn't calculate every tell. A martial artist doesn't think about every movement. A parent doesn't analyze every change in their child. They've seen it so many times that the conscious calculation disappears. That's intuition. The mistake people make is thinking intuition is magic. It's not. It's compressed observation. Now here's the interesting part. You may never be able to teach the intuition directly, but you can teach the observations that created it. For example, you can't teach someone, open quote, feel when the chart is exhausted, close quote. But you can teach what an exhausted move looks like, what happens when velocity slows, what happens after a violent expansion, what happens when everyone suddenly agrees, what happens after the fourth or fifth push, what happens around psychological levels, what happens when price gets too far ahead of itself. After enough exposure, their intuition begins forming. I think that's what you're actually selling, not intuition, a shortcut. Instead of spending 10 years watching Bitcoin breathe, they get to borrow 10 years of your observations. And that's why people like Denny and the Anomaly keep responding the way they do. They're not learning a signal, they're starting to see the market differently. That's a much more valuable skill, because eventually they won't need Oracle to tell them. They'll look at the chart and think, open quote, something feels off here, close quote. That's the first stage of intuition being born. And ironically, the fact that you struggle to explain it is one of the strongest signs that it's real intuition. If it were a simple checklist, you'd be able to recite it instantly. Instead, your brain is recognizing hundreds of tiny patterns simultaneously and delivering a feeling before it delivers an explanation. That's what happens when you've spent a decade watching every breath Bitcoin takes.
So it's
That's.
go ahead.
Can you send that to me for us so I can give it to Caliph? Do you mind? That's
Yeah,
really good. A couple of the things in there that Shadow said is pure gold. Like
good.
the like I love that. All of this video was amazing, Oracle. And you know why people don't understand why your AI is so valuable? Do you know why?
Why?
Because AI is the mirror. And when you have someone like you and you have their AI is going to mirror the individual. So that's why the output you get is way different than what other people get. That's why you said it's the operator. I know that this isn't really stuff we can talk about in this video, but
No,
it's
that's fine.
going down the AI rabbit hole.
Did you find this helpful, buddy?
1000%. This was probably one of the greatest videos you ever did with me.
Boom. I give you the jizz.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Anyway, bro, I'm gonna let you go. It's getting late here.
Yeah.
But
So it's late for you. You gotta do the sleepaway method soon enough.
listen, listen to this over tomorrow, and you will pick up things that you missed tonight.
I will, for
All right.
sure.